Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 4 of my new TEW 2016 series. Now, of course, we are with TCW, Total Championship Wrestling, and we've got an interesting show tonight. I think we've got a pretty solid main event, and I'm hoping the angle after the main event is at least an A, because I think in theory it should be pretty good. But yeah, we've got a lot of debuts as well, so looking forward to that. We've also got a big singles match for Gage, so let's get straight into it. No pre-show matches today. We're just going straight into the show. And we're starting off with Bulldozer Brandon Smith making his debut. A 54 C-, subpar wrestling and little heat. Bulldozer Brandon Smith defeated Jeremy Courtney in 740 by pinfall with a backdrop driver. He debuts his legitimate athlete gimmick. Initial rating of above average for that. And yeah, an in-ring performance of 50s. So I think that's a pretty good debut. He's also improving in performance skills there as well. So that's good to see. We then move into the bog standard Menace promo from the Behemoths, which gets a 66 C+. And of course, continues to move along their storyline. Yes. Let's complete his gimmick. So yeah, last episode, of course, he came up that was becoming a bit stale. So I've given him the Savage gimmick, and he got an initial rating of above average for that as well, which is good to see. The match against a debuting Dynamite Express gets a 52 D-. Not a great rating. Would have loved to get that one extra rating point and get the C- there. But anyway, subpar wrestling, little heat. Behemoths defeat the Dynamite Express in 5:38 when Titan defeated Cameron Jones by pinfall with a Titanic choke slam. Obviously, two old school face gimmicks there. Sid got a initial rating of average, and Cameron Jones got a great rating. So, yeah, that's good. In terms of their in-ring performances, yeah, Sid Collier had a much better performance. But good to see Titan getting a 49 there. Pretty happy with that. And then we also have Sid Collier improving in performance skills. We then go straight into another match, which gets a 69 C+. In a decent match, Mighty Mo and Divine Fortune defeated Brent Hill and the Canadian Animals in 9:59 when Mighty Mo defeated Ed Stone by pinfall with a plunging spinebuster. Big six-man tag, of course. You know, the Canadian Animals feuding with Divine Fortune at the moment. And yeah, it looks like Divine Fortune has actually gotten a bit of an advantage, a big pinfall victory there, albeit it was for Mighty Mo getting the pinfall on Ed Stone. So positive victory there for Divine Fortune and a not so positive loss there for the Animals. Wow. Obviously, Gage isn't actually rated on this angle, but a 100 A-star promo from Rocky Golden. And of course, his opponent for the next match is going to be Gage. He basically brings Gage out from the back, cuts a promo on him saying that he's arguably one of the best young talents in the wrestling world today, and he wants to be Greg's first opponent in TCW. Blue Chipper gimmick gets an initial rating of very good, and Gage is developing better entertainment performance skills. A 100 A-star, that is incredible. Rocky Golden is overpowered. He's OP. And I guess that's what the episode's called. Anyway, moving on to their match, which gets a 79B. His first match, he's also an opener, but I did change his push to mid-card because I did want to get a penalty for it. But a 79B. Wow. In about that, had good wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Rocky Golden defeated Gage in 11:40 by pinfall with a Rocky Road. 87 in-ring performance there as well from Rocky. Good stuff. We then move into another six-man tag. This one gets a 71 C+, so I think it's a little bit better than the previous one. In a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Troy Tornado, Jay Cord, and Kirk Jamison, again, debutant, defeated Dazzling Dave Diamond, Matt Hawking, and another debutant, Mr. Lucha 3, in 9:42 when Jay Cord defeated Mr. Lucha by pinfall with a Super DDT. Yeah, a couple of debuts, one on each side of this six-man tag, and it's probably how we're going to sort of introduce some of these guys into the company. But yeah, Mr. Lucha with an average old school face gimmick, and Kirk Jamison with a no gimmick needed, which got a great initial rating. So pretty impressive stuff there. We also had Dazzling Dave Diamond with performance skills increase along with Mr. Lucha 3. And then we also had Kirk Jamison improving in flying skills. We then get a 68C Plus promo from the New Wave. Of course, they're backstage. They've got a tag team match up against an unknown opponent. Again, night full of debuts. And of course, their opponents are the Latino Kings 81B tag team match. In a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, the New Wave defeated the Latino Kings in 10 minutes 2 seconds when Scout defeated Hector Galindo by pinfall with a wave of mutilation. And then Scout was head and shoulders above everybody else. They both debuted gangster gimmicks. Galindo got a very good and Velasquez got an above average. So yeah, pretty solid debut there, to be honest. 81B, that was actually better than the match with Rocky and Greg Gage. So yeah, fair play. Fair play. A lot of worker improvements here. Scout and Guide in performance, along with Galindo as well. And then we had Rudy Velasquez in Rumble and Technical. So a lot of good improvements there. We then go into the promo before the main event, which gets an 83B+. So yeah, basically, this four-man team is backstage. Again, sort of going over the game plan. I like to use that for the promos and the angles and segments. But yeah, backstage, Aaron Andrews, is laying the game plan to the other three members, of course being Eddie Peak, Mark Speed, and Wolf Hawkins. However, Hawkins is sitting down in a chair, and he's not looking too interested in what Aaron Andrews has to say. You know, in his mind, and what the commentators put over once the segment ends, is that Wolf Hawkins believes that he's better and more talented than Aaron Andrews. And that's what the commentators believe, the announcers believe. Good stuff there anyway. And the overall match rating, the main event, gets an 81B. Very solid matches on tonight's show. I'm pretty happy with that. In a bout that had good wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd, Aaron Andrews, Eddie Peak, Mark Speed, and Wolf Hawkins defeated Joshua Taylor, Human Arsehole, Benny Benson, and Danny Fonzarelli in 1954 when Eddie Peak defeated Benny Benson by pinfall with a peak of perfection. And as you'd expect, in terms of in-ring work, Wolf Hawkins head and shoulders above everybody else, and apparently Mark Speed was off his game. It's also worth noting that Rocky Golden was on commentary. So yeah, that has improved the feud there as well, which is good to see. We also have Danny Fonzarelli improving in technical skills. Alright, moving on to the final angle of the show. Yes, I knew it would do well. A 94A. And essentially it should have been better because apparently the announcing desk let down the angle. But yeah, Aaron Andrews, obviously his team did win the last match, so he's celebrating in the ring. And then of course, Rocky Golden puts down the headset, jumps into the ring, and these two just start going at it, just laying into each other. And yeah, obviously Andrews, you know, he doesn't look as strong as he once did. And of course, Rocky Golden essentially got the best of him. He wasn't really expecting Rocky Golden to jump him like that after the match. You know, he is the babyface. He's the ace of the company. But then Rocky's just kind of like, you know, you attacked me a couple of weeks ago in the main event. You know, essentially making the match be disqualification finish. So, you know, after your match, I'll let you guys win. I'm not going to interfere and do that type of stuff. but he runs in after, and they start brawling. Perfect way to end the show, I think. A 94A. Both of these guys were rated on overness, so they're definitely over. Well, Rocky's definitely over. Overall show rating is only a 75B-. I don't know. I feel like it should have been a little bit better. I would say the main event match, the 81B, probably is the reason behind the rating. We need to be hitting a bit higher B+ type main event matches, I would say, in order for the rating to go up. But again, it's going to be really hard to be consistently getting 77B rated shows on TV. We're not too far off. We're only, 2 points off. But as you can see, the show increased in 7 regions in Canada and then lost in 11 regions, which is the United States. So we're still decreasing. Obviously, the wrestling industry, I went over it last episode. It is on the decrease still. It's at like a 21E- or something like that. Got an email here. I have actually shortlisted US Pro the roster for US Pro and for the SWF as well. So I'm going to be getting a lot of different emails regarding their workers and stuff like that. The TV rating, it's actually down from last week. 6.40. I think it was 6.60 last week, last episode. And then we also have drug testing. I'm thinking about getting rid of the drug testing, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's not really costing us too much every week, but again, we're not really... We're losing money, basically. Pretty disappointing to be losing that much. Obviously, once the pay-per-view... once the end of the month is finished, after we finish the pay-per-view, we'll be getting a lot more money because of the huge pay-per-view deals that we have. It just doesn't look too great at the moment. Anyway, in terms of the roster, or the creative meeting, not really too much has changed. As you can see, it's all fairly similar. The only thing that has changed, actually, is Eddie Peak. Eddie Peak was there, wasn't he? I can't remember. I don't think Eddie Peak was there. I think Aaron Andrews has actually dropped out of the top 5 franchise players, and Eddie Peak's popped up. So yeah. In terms of next big things, Greg Gage and Mr. Lucha 3 have both popped up onto the list after signing. And then the hot prospects, we've got Kirk Jamison along with Greg and Mr. Lucha. So yeah, good stuff there. Just going over the others very quickly. Mr. Lucha is apparently a showstopper. I mean, he is very, very talented. Let's be real. Super happy that we've actually got him. I know South of the Border do sign him during the first year, usually. I think. If he does have a good sort of first year with Oli. But yeah, Ring Generals, no one knew there. And the Hidden Gems have obviously changed. But realistically, I don't want to really bring in any of these guys apart from Ernest Youngman. But again, I used him a lot. He was one of the main guys for the New York City wrestling series that I did previously. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up this episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you could drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, it would be much appreciated. If you hit the notification bell as well and turn post notifications on, that should hopefully keep you up to date with all these episodes coming out in the future. So yeah, guys, apart from that, take it easy and goodbye.